2.5 miles under the ice in Antarctica, there's a lake the size of Lake Ontario. It's been sealed off from sunlight, air, and the rest of the planet for around 15 million years. Nobody knew it was there until the 1990s, and when a drilling team finally broke through into it, the water shot 30 meters up the borehole under its own pressure, like the whole planet had been holding its breath. They found life in it. Life that had been evolving in total darkness since before humans existed. And it turns out that lake wasn't alone. There are hundreds more like it, some of them draining into each other under the ice like a plumbing system nobody built. So how do you even find a lake nobody's ever seen, buried under 2 miles of solid ice? And once you do, how do you open it without wrecking the thing you're trying to study? Stick around because the answer involves almost blowing a hole in the bottom of the world. A desert made of ice. Here's the part that sounds wrong but isn't. Antarctica is technically a desert. Some interior regions get less new snowfall a year than Phoenix. Arizona gets rain. It's not the ice that's piling up fast. It's that the ice has been piling up for an unbelievably long time. In places, the ice sheet is nearly 3 miles thick. Stack the world's tallest building on top of itself 6 times, and you're still not at the bottom. That thickness is really a timeline. Every year of snowfall gets buried and compressed by the next, turning into a frozen layer you can actually read, like tree rings. Scientists have pulled ice cores that stretch back over 1 million years, an atmospheric diary of the planet, one line at a time, with the occasional dark streak marking a volcano that erupted somewhere on Earth thousands of years before anyone was writing anything down. What's hiding underneath? For decades, radar-equipped planes and satellites have been scanning straight through that ice like an X-ray of an entire continent. What they found wasn't just flat frozen bedrock. There's a canyon down there, deeper than the Grand Canyon, a hidden mountain range that rivals the Alps, evidence of an ancient asteroid strike, a cluster of volcanoes nobody knew existed, and, in the late 1960s, buried in all that radar data, researchers noticed something that didn't look like a mountain, a canyon, or anything solid at all. It was flat, smooth, almost like it didn't belong there. Nobody knew what they were looking at yet, but it would take another 30 years of digging to find out. The discovery. In 1970, a Soviet team picked a spot on the ice and started drilling straight down. They kept at it for nearly 3 decades. Almost 2.5 miles below the surface, the drill hit something that shouldn't have been possible. Liquid water, not ice, not frozen slush. An actual lake sealed away from sunlight and fresh air for roughly 15 million years. How does liquid water survive under one of the coldest places on Earth? 2 things stacked on top of each other. First, that ice sheet works like an enormous blanket, trapping heat rising up from deep inside the planet, instead of letting it escape. Second, water under extreme pressure. And down there, the pressure runs around 350 times what you feel at sea level, can stay liquid at temperatures that would freeze it solid anywhere else. That combination kept an entire lake liquid underneath a continent made of ice. They named it Lake Vostok, and once it was confirmed real, one question took over every conversation in the field. Could anything actually be alive down there? The risky breakthrough. Nobody knew what would happen the second the drill finally broke through. One researcher compared the risk to dropping candy into a bottle of soda, except instead of a fizzy mess on a kitchen counter, this was a massive pressurized lake at the bottom of a 2.5-mile borehole. Get it wrong, and you could blow the whole project apart. It took roughly a decade of careful planning before the Russian team made their move. To keep the borehole from freezing shut during the drilling, they'd been filling it with a kerosene-based fluid for years. Right before the final breakthrough, They added a heavier fluid on top, hoping it would act like a plug. The moment the drill broke through, lake water rocketed more than 30 meters up the shaft, blasting the fluids out of the way. When they pulled up a sample, headlines called it a brand new form of bacteria. But the excitement had a catch. That bacteria looked a lot like the kind that lives inside kerosene. The sample may have simply been contaminated by their own drilling fluid, and the results were never formally confirmed. British and American teams tried a cleaner method. Filtered, UV, sterilized hot water instead of any chemical fluid at all. No contamination risk, but it burned through fuel fast. One British team drilling into a separate lake actually ran out of fuel mid-project and had to abandon the attempt entirely. Eventually, a different team pushed a clean borehole all the way through into an untouched lake. No contamination, no chemicals, just confirmation. There was an entire thriving ecosystem of microbial life down there, surviving in total darkness with zero sunlight for who knows how long. A few years later, in 2018, another team pulled up sediment from the bottom of a different lake and found something even stranger inside it. Viruses unlike anything ever cataloged before. And these ones specifically infect bacteria, not people. So there's no reason to worry about anything escaping up that borehole. Why this matters far beyond Antarctica. Here's where it gets bigger than one continent. Millions of years ago, before all that ice built up, parts of Antarctica may have looked completely different, possibly even ice-free. So the life researchers keep finding trapped under the ice today might not be new at all. It could be ancient, quietly surviving down there while the entire surface of the planet transformed above it. And that changes what scientists think is possible somewhere else entirely. Several icy moons in our solar system are believed to hide deep, dark oceans under thick shells of ice, nearly identical conditions to what's sitting under Antarctica right now. The exact drilling and decontamination techniques being refined here on Earth are essentially a dress rehearsal for future missions searching for life on those worlds. Out of the hundreds of subglacial lakes mapped under Antarctica so far, only a handful have ever actually been opened. The rest are still down there right now, sealed in total darkness, completely untouched. If they eventually find something down there bigger and stranger than microbes, do you think we keep digging? Or is there a point where a place sealed off for 15 million years should just stay sealed? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe if you want to be here when we find out.